Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new album from Art of Deception, Path of Trees. The album comes out June 22nd, and it's the band's second full-length album. The album has 9 tracks, 47 minutes in length. One of the tracks is an instrumental track called Shadows. It's track number 8, and that really leads itself to become the intro of the last track of the album, which is, I believe, the longest track on this record. And it's really a track full of dynamic and full of life, and it's really a perfect closing to an album that just takes you on a journey. This is an album that I really feel that has its roots in death metal and melodic death metal, but there are a lot of thrash metal influences in the album, and that becomes really obvious to the listener once you start paying attention to the guitar riffs and to the guitar melodies. The melodic aspect of this album is really given by those guitar melodies, but it has a real heavy rooted bass and thrash metal sound. So while every single song feels like a death metal song, if you will, the grooviness and the heaviness of the guitars with that thrash metal sound to it really allows for the songs to gain life, gain melody, and gain different dynamics that you're not necessarily used to see in a pure death metal album. So that combination of the two sounds of the two genres really allowed to create a melodic death metal album, if you will, but a different kind of melodic death metal. The guitar melodies is not the same that you normally see in traditional melodic death metal albums. Here, the melody of those guitars really have that thrash, heavy influence to it, which creates a lot more heaviness to the songs, a lot more grooviness to the songs. And obviously melody comes by default, but it's not super melodic. It's more heavy and groovy than it is melodic. They also incorporated in this album some acoustic work, which I really like, because it allowed for the songs to sound even heavier than what they really are. Because, for example, when you start a song with an acoustic intro, whatever comes after that is always going to sound a lot heavier, just because for your ears you have that contrast of acoustic and then followed it up with just a really heavy guitar riff. So I really like the way they went with that. I really like the vocals in this album as well. That's another key point for me, is the vocals in this album. It really mixes well. Predominantly the album has harsh vocals, but once in a while you hear some guttural vocals, some deeper stuff, some more pure death metal vocals, if you will. And I really like that. I really enjoy the vocals. I thought in my mind that the vocals fit the record perfectly. It fit each song perfectly. It really was the perfect companion to the kind of sound, heaviness, and grooviness that the songs had. The only negative I will say is in some songs, the drumming is so heavy and so death metal oriented that it kind of overshadows the guitar riff and specifically some of the solos. And that to me was the only negative that I could find in this album. That in some solos you really want to hear the solo, but the solo is overshadowed by really strong, heavy drumming. But overall, the album is really fluid, has a really cool life of its own, and it's very dynamic. It really gives the listener a sense of different things, not really knowing what each song is going to bring. You know the song is going to be heavy, you know it's going to have some groovy riffs, some heavy riffs, but you really don't know what other components, what other elements they're going to add to the songs in order to make the album more dynamic and more appealing to the listener. As far as favorite songs are concerned, there's 3 that I have to mention just because I feel that these 3 songs really encapsulate the album really well. The first one is Ocean Turns. That's the first song of the album, and to me this is really a microcosm of what the whole album is about, which is extremely heavy drumming, death metal drumming, if you will, and then really groovy and thrashy guitar riffs that add the melody to the song, that give a little bit of a yin to the yang to that drumming. The drumming is so heavy, so over the top, that thrash metal bass guitar riffs really give the song a different dynamic, a different life, if you will, and add the necessary melody to really carry the songs forward. This is one of those songs that also has a really cool solo, and that solo really carries on the grooviness and the melody that comes from that grooviness of the guitar riff throughout the song is carried out through the solo. The solo really feels like a continuation of the riff, more so than just your over-the-top solo that has a different dynamic from the rest of the song altogether. This one really fits well, and it really feels a continuation one from the other. Another song that I have to mention is Dark Psychosis. This song it's a little bit different from the first one. It really combines, once again, really heavy drumming with really cool guitar riffs. But to me, this song really feels more like a thrash metal song with death metal sprinkles in there. So this one to me is a little bit of the opposite of Ocean's Turn. To me, this was more a song that had its roots in thrash metal, and then they sprinkled in some pieces of death metal to just give the song that extra dynamic, that extra life, that extra thickness, if you will. I really like the chorus of this song as well. The chorus of this song is absolutely badass. It really breaks the momentum of the song. The song is super fast, super heavy, as you would expect from almost an old school thrash metal song. And then the chorus really breaks that momentum, and it really slows things down. It makes the song heavier but slower, and it's really a cool break in dynamic of the song. It really allows for the listener to really catch its breath at certain times, but the chorus is very melodic. Even the way the voice comes out, the vocals come out in the chorus, it adds melody to it. I know it's harsh vocals, but it really adds melody to the song. I also like what they did in the chorus, where they employed two styles of vocals in the chorus. Your more guttural vocals with your harsh vocals. Those two are incorporated in the chorus, and it really gives the song a really cool dynamic and layers in that chorus specifically. And the chorus is really what holds this whole song together. Now, finally, last but not least, is the song The Fire Inside. This is the last song of the album, and this song takes you absolutely on an emotion roller coaster. It's really a blistering song from the moment it starts. It almost feels like something out of old school power metal, heavy metal, like just super fast pace, fast, crazy riffs. Just a really blistering start is the best way I can describe this song. And then it goes through changes. The song is constantly evolving and morphing into different things as the song progresses. It starts off like that, then it goes into a more of a heavier period of the song. Then there's also some more melodic parts of the song. This song really has a life of its own, and it's really a song that combines all three genres of death metal, melodic death metal, and thrash metal are all combined into this song. Not combined together, mixed in and give you the song throughout, but combined by giving you certain parts of the song are predominantly of one genre versus the other. And that's the cool dynamic that I really like about this song, is that the song is broken down into different pieces, and each piece falls closely to one of those genres more than the others. So that is what gives life to the song. I also must say this song has my favorite solo of the whole album. It's an I mean, there's not words cannot describe this solo. The best word I can say to describe this solo is beautiful. It's just melodic. It's beautiful. Something I would expect in a more melodic death metal song, and they incorporated perfectly well into this song, and it's absolutely beautiful. It just adds so much melody, melancholy, darkness, despair. It adds all of those weird emotions that haunt us, but still beautiful at its core. So this is it, guys. This is Art of Deception, Path of Trees, out June 22nd, the band's second full-length album. I really enjoyed this album. This album really proves to me that Norway is not just all about black metal. There is a lot of other cool stuff coming out of Norway. This album is a perfect example. This band is a perfect example. I really enjoyed the merger of styles that they incorporated into this album. I really enjoyed the vocals, I enjoyed the drumming, and I enjoy the guitar riffs, especially the thrashiness of the guitar riffs. Really enjoyable album. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think of this band? Did you guys know of this band? What do you guys think of the album? I'll be checking those comments and replying back. Take care, guys.